First of all, hi Steve.
Hey Nadia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm a little nervous because it's the first time that I'm doing an interview, a video interview.
Okay.
And we just finished the testing of the level 1 IKF certification. So I'm now a certified.
Yes, you earned it. You worked hard for it.
Thank you for that.
Good job.
Yeah, it was really hard for me, but I really enjoyed it.
Great.
So it was a great, I learned a lot. So I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions because I really feel that I have a kinship, kind of a kinship with you because you know, you've been involved in martial arts the same way as I am. I've been my whole life. And you're also involved in kettlebells, which I'm trying to get involved into some more. And this is my first step, basically. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about all that.
Okay.
So, when did you first become interested in kettlebells?
I saw it in a catalog when I was 32, so it was like 2002. I started seeing some advertisements about this kettlebell, and it seemed really interesting. And I thought, wow, this could be something I would like. It made sense for martial arts because using the whole body and mind and the body together. So,
You did already train martial arts then?
yeah, I had almost probably more than 20 years of martial art training at this point. And so I was curious about it, and it took me about a year before I eventually bought some kettlebells. And then I just learned the basic movements off of a video, taught myself the basics, and that was how I got my start. This was like 2003.
And who was the person that sparked the interest, basically?
Well, the person that really sort of reintroduced kettlebells in the West is Pavel Satsali. So he was kind of the first source for most people outside of, at least outside of the Eastern Europe. And
very famous here as well.
yes, he's known everywhere. And so I went to Pavel's course and we connected right away. And he saw that I had a lot of experience in movement and teaching. And so he asked me if I would be one of his assistants. And so that's when I started helping him to teach kettlebell training. And then I just developed my own methods over time.
Yeah, that was back in the RKC before.
Yes, this was RKC, early days of RKC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and what made the difference between kettlebells and other types of training? Like, because you've been doing martial arts for so many years, and I'm guessing you tried all types of strength training, of other types of conditioning work.
Yeah, my main conditioning was, prior to that, was just through the martial arts itself, a lot of body weight conditioning, you know, sparring, hitting heavy bags, many calisthenics, traditional martial art ground exercises. And so my fitness was always very high. And I did do some things at the gym, but there wasn't a lot of education. Most of the knowledge was, you know, from muscle media, magazines, and so it was basically bodybuilding. And so I did those types of movements, but I never felt that it transferred to the martial arts because that style of training is more isolation, and martial arts is you're using your whole body. So that was the immediate difference with the kettlebell. You're on your feet and you're using the ground and you're kind of using your whole body as one unit. And so I completely understood that just from the martial art training. It was complementary.
And did you have any, for example, any injuries during your career as a martial artist?
Just, you know, sparring, some cuts, some scars, but no, not really. I had broken my wrist once, but it wasn't in martial arts. It was playing American football just in the driveway, and I went for a pass, missed and fell when I was 13 years old at that time. So I had fractured my wrist, but no, I never had any serious injuries.
Because a lot of people that are doing martial arts are actually not training, you know, any type of resistance training, and they usually start when they get some injuries and something of a sort, or they get hurt. So that's why, because normally conditioning is not muscle specific, so people don't really train for their for developing their muscles. So this is why sometimes they do train in the gym or with any type of resistance, just to balance the fact that during training with martial arts they don't use that so much muscle.
People are more educated than, say, 20 years ago. We understand more about the value of resistance training, but not all resistance training is equal. Certain kinds are more complementary, others are not. Like bodybuilding is not going to be beneficial for the martial artist at all.
For many sports.
Yes.
Beneficial for bodybuilding, maybe.
Correct. It's specific.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so you were named one of the 100 fittest men from Men Health magazine, right next to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Lee and.
Yeah, those are some good people.
Yes, amazing people. Yeah, you're amazing yourself.
Thank you.
And how did you feel when you got that?
It was nice, but I never really considered it an accomplishment. It was more of a culmination of a lifetime of work, and it was something I was nominated for. So one of the authors, one of the writers for the magazine, had saw me do some demonstrations, and he was very impressed with that. So I was nominated. But you know, it's those types of things. It's you can say it's subjective. So obviously my fitness level has always been very high, but I consider other things a higher accomplishment, like having a family or developing a successful educational program or getting my college degree in kinesiology. To me, these are actually more accomplishments, but being named to a list, it's a nice honor, but I never, I don't see it from the ego. Like, I don't think it makes me any better to have that title. It's just, it's nice. It looks good on paper.
Yeah.
And it's an impressive, but there's no way to really quantify it. So
the best things in life aren't in Men magazine.
Yes, that's how I feel.
They are personal. I understand that.
And my fitness level would be the same whether I made the list or I didn't. So
yeah, I understand. Okay, well, one other thing that I understood about you is that you are a subject matter expert for the Navy SEALs and for the U.S. Marine Corps. Can you give us some more details about that? Of course, if it's not confidential.
no, it's not confidential. I'm a civilian, so I have done courses for Marines. I've done courses for Navy SEALs where basically they invited me to teach kettlebell training to their service members. And so that was basically based on invitation. And after I had started developing, had some recognition and a following, just received some emails from some military saying we would like to have you come out. So I went to Quantico, which is in Virginia, for one of the Marine groups, and also Virginia for one of the Navy SEALs teams. So that's how that happened. It was just an invitation, but I don't have a military background myself.
Mm-hmm. But you've done programs for them for their conditioning, right?
Yeah, basically we'd go and train them for 3 days and basically teach them the techniques and bring them through workouts and training. And then they take that information and integrate it into their strength conditioning programs. So it's not something that would be ongoing, it would be more in a seminar format.
And they're applying then the principles that they learned.
Yeah, because especially the Navy SEALs are really tough and endurance is really important. So the kettlebells is actually a really beneficial tool to develop mental toughness and physical strength as well.
Okay, and this is something which is very impressive for me as well because I'm part of the Bulgarian national team for karate, and you're 2 times national champion in Kung Fu, in Wushu, right?
Wushu is the sport, which is basically full contact Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
And there was quite a while, it was in 1995 and 1996, I was still in my mid-20s at that time. Mm-hmm. And then, after that I sort of started moving more into the fitness aspect.
So why did you start competing, and then why did you stop competing?
It was a part of just the training, the school that I was a part of. We always did a lot of sparring, and then we found out about these national competitions, so we started training a team, and I was one of the team members, and we trained really hard, so we had a lot of success in that. And but it was just something that I did because I was a part of the school, what we were doing, and I was just really immersed in the martial arts study. The reason I actually moved away from it was, and this happens a lot in martial arts, basically my first teacher and I, we just kind of parted ways. And it was at that time, it was very difficult for me, and then I started thinking, maybe I